Have you ever encountered someone who constantly seeks to be the center of attention, always trying to prove they're superior to everyone around them? Do they manipulate, lie, and twist reality just to stay in control? Have you ever wished you could turn the tables on them without stooping to their level? If so, you're in the right place. Today, we're revealing 5 powerful ways to emotionally torture a narcissist without saying a single cruel word. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us create more content to empower you. Now, let's get started. 1. Ignore their need for attention. Narcissists crave attention like oxygen. They want to be the center of your world, whether through praise, admiration, or drama. Their sense of self-worth is built on external validation, and they thrive on knowing they can control your emotions. The best way to frustrate them? Take away that power by refusing to engage in their manipulative games. Ignoring a narcissist doesn't just mean walking away physically. It means disengaging emotionally and mentally. They feed on your reactions. Whether it's anger, frustration, admiration, or even sadness, their ego thrives on being acknowledged. So, what happens when you cut off their supply? They start to panic. By denying them attention, you force them to face their biggest fear, becoming irrelevant. The more you disengage, the less power they have over you. This makes them desperate to regain control, leading to a series of predictable behaviors that you must be prepared for. The narcissist's reaction to being ignored. The first thing you'll notice when you begin to ignore a narcissist is their attempt to escalate. They'll try hard to provoke you, pulling out every trick in the book to regain control. They may insult you, gaslight you, guilt trip you, or even love bomb you with excessive praise. This is a manipulation tactic designed to suck you back into their world. But no matter what they do, your greatest weapon is indifference. A common reaction from a narcissist who feels ignored is what is known as a narcissistic injury. This occurs when their inflated sense of self is wounded by a perceived slight. They might lash out, attempting to make you feel guilty or ashamed for not giving them the attention they believe they deserve. Alternatively, they might play the victim, pretending to be hurt or misunderstood in a bid to lure you back into engaging with them. Expect them to use emotional blackmail, bringing up past favors or shared memories to guilt trip you. Another potential reaction is the infamous hoovering technique, where the narcissist attempts to suck you back into their cycle of manipulation. They may subtly act kind and considerate, showering you with attention to make you question your decision to disengage. They do this because they see relationships not as mutual connections, but as sources of narcissistic supply. Once they feel they have you back under their control, they will likely return to their usual toxic behavior. Some narcissists may even resort to smear campaigns. If they realize they cannot control you directly, they may attempt to manipulate others against you. They might spread lies, twist narratives, and turn mutual friends or family members against you. This is another test of your resilience. The best way to counteract this is to remain composed and let their own actions expose them over time. The gray rock method, your best offense. This tactic is known as the gray rock method, a psychological strategy where you become as uninteresting and emotionally unresponsive as a gray rock. Keep your responses minimal. If you must interact with them, keep your words neutral and short. No matter how hard they push, stay firm. Over time, the narcissist will realize they're not getting the reaction they crave and will move on to someone else who will feed their ego. For example, if a narcissist tries to provoke you by making a cruel remark about your appearance or intelligence, instead of defending yourself or arguing back, simply respond with a nonchalant okay, or if you say so. By refusing to react, you rob them of their power. Additionally, maintaining emotional control is crucial. Narcissists often try to bait you into reacting emotionally. They might accuse you of things you didn't do, make false claims, or act in a way that triggers past trauma. Recognizing this pattern is key to maintaining your inner peace. By responding with neutrality, you strip them of their ability to manipulate you. Disengaging from social media. In today's digital age, social media is a prime hunting ground for narcissists seeking validation. They use online platforms to seek attention through posts, messages, and interactions. One of the best ways to assert your indifference is by refusing to engage with them online. Avoid liking, commenting, or sharing their posts. If they message you, either ignore them or keep responses short and unemotional. If necessary, blocking them entirely can be an effective way to cut off their influence. Social media provides an easy way for narcissists to keep tabs on people, so taking control of your digital presence is crucial in maintaining boundaries. Another tactic narcissists use is monitoring your online activity. If they see you thriving without them, they may attempt to re-enter your life through indirect means. They might create fake accounts, comment on mutual friends' posts about you, or post cryptic messages designed to get your attention. Recognizing these behaviors allows you to continue enforcing boundaries without falling into their trap. Why ignoring a narcissist works? Ignoring a narcissist works because it denies them what they need most: attention and control. When you stop reacting, they lose the ability to manipulate your emotions. Over time, they will either escalate their efforts to provoke you, which you must resist, or move on to someone else who is more susceptible to their tactics. Additionally, ignoring a narcissist allows you to regain your emotional strength. You no longer have to walk on eggshells, constantly anticipating their next move. Instead, you take back control of your life, freeing yourself from their toxic influence. By refusing to engage, you set a boundary that protects your well-being. Narcissists despise being ignored, but your indifference is a key to breaking free from their grip. Stay firm, stay strong, and remember that their power over you only exists if you allow it. To ensure long-term success, focus on building a support system. Surround yourself with people who uplift and empower you. Engaging in activities that boost your self-esteem can further reinforce your independence. When a narcissist realizes they can no longer affect you, they lose interest. Your greatest strength lies in refusing to be controlled. No matter how much they try to infiltrate your life again, your silence and indifference will always be the most powerful response. 2. Set unbreakable boundaries. A narcissist thrives on pushing limits. They'll test you, manipulate you, and guilt-trip you into giving them what they want. But when you set firm boundaries and stick to them, they lose control. Boundaries serve as a safeguard, preventing the narcissist from having unchecked access to your time, emotions, and energy. Setting boundaries with a narcissist isn't easy, especially if there's someone close to you, like a family member, friend, or romantic partner. They will resist, argue, and try to make you feel guilty. However, establishing clear, non-negotiable limits is one of the best ways to protect yourself from their toxic influence. You must recognize that enforcing boundaries is not selfish. It's necessary for self-preservation. Understanding the importance of boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your mental and emotional well-being. Without them, a narcissist will continue to intrude upon your life, demanding more and more of your time, energy, and resources. They thrive on control, and any sign of weakness gives them an opening to exploit. By setting boundaries, you reclaim your autonomy and create a protective barrier against their manipulation. Without boundaries, you may find yourself constantly feeling drained, emotionally exhausted, or questioning your own reality due to their manipulation. A narcissist does not respect your needs or personal space, and without clear limits, they will push their influence deeper into your life. Establishing firm boundaries prevents this erosion of self-worth and autonomy. How to identify your boundaries? Start by identifying what behaviors you will no longer tolerate. Perhaps you refuse to answer phone calls after a certain time, or maybe you won't engage in conversations that involve manipulation and gaslighting. Write down specific behaviors that make you feel disrespected, drained, or manipulated. Once you have a clear understanding of what is unacceptable, you can communicate these boundaries effectively. For example, time boundaries, refusing to answer calls or respond to messages outside of designated hours. Emotional boundaries, not engaging in conversations where you're belittled, guilt-tripped, or manipulated. Physical boundaries, limiting or eliminating physical presence around the narcissist when they become aggressive or toxic. Verbal boundaries, choosing not to participate in arguments or discussions that turn into blame-shifting or personal attacks. Financial boundaries, refusing to lend money, provide financial support, or be coerced into financial decisions that make you uncomfortable. Energy boundaries, recognizing when interactions leave you emotionally exhausted, and limiting the frequency of those encounters. How to enforce your boundaries. Once you have identified your limits, it is essential to communicate them clearly and assertively. Narcissists will try to twist your words, so be direct and unwavering. When they inevitably test your limits, respond with a firm no without explanation. Narcissists thrive on arguments, so the less you say, the better. One of the best phrases you can use is, "I will not discuss this any further." It shuts down their attempt to argue and keeps you in control of the interaction. Over time, they will realize they can no longer manipulate you, and this loss of power will frustrate them immensely. A strong boundary is also learning to say no without justifying yourself. Narcissists love to exploit any hint of doubt or weakness in your words, so keeping your stance firm is essential. Another effective strategy is limiting the time you spend around them, keeping your interactions brief and direct. Additionally, enforcing your boundaries may require physically removing yourself from a situation. If a narcissist refuses to respect your limits, walking away, leaving the room, or ending the conversation is sometimes the only way to maintain control over your emotional state. Dealing with guilt and emotional manipulation. Narcissists will often resort to guilt tripping when they see you enforcing boundaries. They might say things like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me?" Or, "You're being so selfish." These tactics are designed to make you feel bad and give in. Recognize these as manipulation techniques and remind yourself why you set the boundary in the first place. If you struggle with guilt, practice self-affirmations. I have the right to protect my mental health. I am not responsible for managing their emotions. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. You may also need to remind yourself that narcissists use guilt as a tool to control you. Feeling guilty does not mean you're doing something wrong. It means you are breaking free from their manipulation. What to expect when you set boundaries. Initially, a narcissist will push back harder when they realize they are losing control. They may escalate their manipulative tactics, use guilt, or even resort to anger and emotional outbursts. This is known as the extinction burst, a desperate attempt to regain power. Expect resistance, but don't waver. You may also experience passive-aggressive behavior, silent treatment, or attempts to triangulate, where the narcissist involves other people to turn them against you. They may try to recruit allies, spreading false narratives to make you appear unreasonable. Recognize these behaviors for what they are, desperate attempts to maintain control. Over time, if you remain firm, they will begin to recognize that their usual methods no longer work. They may retreat, find another target, or adjust their behavior, though true change is rare. What matters most is that you stay consistent. When to walk away completely. Sometimes, setting boundaries isn't enough. If a narcissist continues to violate them, belittle you, or manipulate you despite your best efforts, you may need to consider limiting contact or going no contact altogether. Your mental health and well-being should always take priority. Going no contact is especially necessary in situations where the narcissist becomes emotionally or physically abusive. Blocking them on social media, avoiding places they frequent, and surrounding yourself with a strong support system can help you move forward. No contact is not about punishing them. It is about protecting yourself from further harm. If no contact is not an option, practicing the gray rock method, giving minimal emotional responses, and not engaging in drama can help minimize their impact on your life. Setting unbreakable boundaries with a narcissist is one of the most powerful ways to regain control over your life. It won't be easy and you may face resistance, but maintaining firm, non-negotiable limits will protect your peace of mind. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling the narcissist's behavior. They are about taking care of yourself. By standing your ground, refusing to engage in manipulation, and limiting their influence, you reclaim your personal power and create a healthier, more balanced life. True freedom comes when you realize you are no longer at the mercy of a narcissist's whims. With strong boundaries, you can finally prioritize yourself and build the life you deserve. 3. Show no emotional reaction. Narcissists thrive on drama. They feed off the emotional energy of others, whether it is anger, sadness, or frustration. Their sense of control and superiority is reinforced when they can manipulate someone's emotions. When you react to their provocations, you unknowingly hand them the power they crave. But what happens when you refuse to engage? When you deny them the emotional response they so desperately seek? Imagine a narcissist throwing cutting insults your way, fully expecting you to lash out in anger or crumble in tears. But instead of reacting, you simply shrug, remain composed, and walk away. That moment, when they realize their words no longer have an impact on you, is a nightmare for them. It is in that instant they recognize they're losing their hold over you. They will likely try harder, increasing the intensity of their provocations. But if you remain steadfast, they will eventually lose interest and move on. The power of emotional detachment. When you stop reacting, you become unpredictable. Narcissists depend on patterns. They manipulate people by anticipating their responses and using them to their advantage. If you consistently react to their outbursts, they will keep using the same tactics to control you. However, if you break this cycle and remain unbothered, they will be thrown off balance. This unpredictability unsettles them because they no longer know how to manipulate you effectively. Your lack of reaction sends a clear message. You are no longer under their influence. This is a powerful position to be in, but it requires discipline and self-awareness. It's not easy to withhold emotions, especially when someone is intentionally provoking you. However, with practice, you can master the art of emotional detachment. Why narcissists crave emotional reactions. Understanding why narcissists seek reactions can further reinforce the importance of staying neutral. A narcissist thrives on control, and emotions are their primary weapon. Whether through praise or punishment, they use emotional triggers to keep you within their grasp. When you react, it signals that their manipulation is working. Even negative reactions are a win for them because it confirms they have the power to influence your state of mind. In their world, your emotions validate their importance. If they can make you angry, upset, or anxious, it reassures them that they matter in your life. This is why ignoring them can be so effective. It deprives them of the emotional fuel they seek. The more consistently you refuse to engage, the more powerless they become. Strategies to maintain composure. Deep breathing techniques. When confronted with a narcissist's manipulative behavior, take a few deep breaths. This helps calm your nervous system and prevents an immediate emotional reaction. Pause before responding. If you feel the urge to respond emotionally, take a moment to pause. Count to 5 in your head or sip some water. This brief delay can help you regain control over your emotions. Use a neutral facial expression. Narcissists look for facial cues to gauge your emotions. By keeping your face neutral, you deprive them of satisfaction. Detached observation. Mentally step back and observe the behavior as if you were an outsider watching a scene unfold. This can help you disengage from the emotional pull of the situation. Repeat a mantra. Having a personal mantra such as, "I refuse to give them power over me," can serve as a reminder to stay calm. Limit interaction. If possible, minimize the time you spend engaging with a narcissist. The less opportunity they have to provoke you, the better. Shift focus to logic. Instead of responding emotionally, focus on facts. This helps you stay rational and prevents them from drawing you into a heated argument. Develop emotional armor. Build resilience by reinforcing your self-esteem. The stronger your sense of self-worth, the harder it will be for a narcissist to manipulate you. Use the gray rock method. This involves becoming as boring and unresponsive as a gray rock. Provide only minimal answers, avoid sharing personal details, and keep interactions as dull as possible. Find support. Having a trusted friend, therapist, or support group can help you stay grounded and maintain perspective when dealing with a narcissist. Expect resistance. A narcissist will not easily accept that they can no longer control your emotions. Initially, they may escalate their efforts, using guilt-tripping, passive-aggressiveness, or outright aggression to elicit a response. They might bring up sensitive topics, attack your character, or play the victim to draw you in. This is a test of your resolve. Recognize these tactics for what they are, desperate attempts to regain control. Stay firm in your emotional neutrality. Over time, as they realize they are no longer able to manipulate you, they will either reduce their attempts or shift their focus elsewhere. The ultimate power move. By refusing to react emotionally, you reclaim your power. You demonstrate that your emotions belong to you, not to them. This shift in dynamics forces a narcissist to reevaluate their approach and often leaves them frustrated and powerless. More importantly, it allows you to protect your peace. Instead of being trapped in a cycle of emotional turmoil, you gain the freedom to focus on your well-being. Showing no emotional reaction is not about suppressing feelings. It is about controlling in a way that prevents manipulation. Mastering this technique can be transformative. It not only weakens a narcissist's grip on you, but also strengthens your inner resilience. You become more in control of your life, your emotions, and your peace of mind. And that is the kind of power that no narcissist can take away from you. Releasing yourself from a narcissist's emotional grip is one of the most empowering things you can do. It may take time and practice, but with each instance where you refuse to engage, you reinforce your independence and strength. No one should have the power to dictate your emotions or steal your peace of mind. By mastering emotional control, you ensure that your happiness is dictated by you, not by the manipulative tactics of someone who thrives on drama. Stay strong, stay composed, and remember, the best response to a narcissist is no response at all. For outshine them. Narcissists hate competition, especially when it comes from someone they underestimated. The best way to get under their skin? Focus on your own success and let your achievements speak for themselves. Nothing frustrates a narcissist more than watching someone they once dismissed rise above them in ways they never anticipated. Why narcissists fear being overshadowed? One of the biggest fears of a narcissist is being outshined. They crave admiration, validation, and control over how others perceive them. When someone else starts receiving more praise or recognition, they see it as a direct threat to their carefully constructed image of superiority. If they sense someone else gaining attention, they may react in toxic ways, downplaying the other person's success, spreading rumors to tarnish their reputation, or attempting to one-up them with exaggerated or even fabricated accomplishments. For instance, if a colleague receives a well-deserved promotion, a narcissist might suddenly start boasting about their own contributions, insist that they were the reason for the promoted person's success, or even attempt to discredit their abilities altogether. Their ego is fragile, and seeing someone else excel, especially someone they never considered a real competitor, rattles them to the core. This is because narcissists operate under belief that they must always be the best, the smartest, or the most talented person in any room. When reality contradicts this illusion, they lash out in a desperate attempt to regain control. They thrive in environments where they can manipulate perceptions and keep others feeling insecure or inferior. But when they lose their grip, when someone they've underestimated begins to rise, they panic. Their insecurities become more evident, and their behavior can become even more erratic. The best revenge, personal success. The best revenge, thrive, not to spite them, but for yourself. Success, growth, and genuine self-improvement are things that narcissists cannot stand because they rely on their ability to make others feel small. When you grow, evolve, and start achieving things on your own terms, you disrupt their narrative. Suddenly, they are no longer the most important person in the equation. You are, and that terrifies them. Imagine someone who has spent years belittling you, suddenly realizing that you've built a better life for yourself, one in which they have no control or influence. That realization leaves them powerless, and that is the ultimate way to outshine them. How to outshine a narcissist without playing their game. So how do you rise above them without getting caught up in their toxic cycle? Focus on self-improvement. Invest in yourself. Whether it's advancing your career, developing a new skill, or improving your overall well-being, ensure that you are constantly evolving. Narcissists expect you to stay stagnant under their influence. Proving them wrong without even acknowledging them is a powerful move. Build a strong support system. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. Narcissists often try to isolate their targets to maintain control, but having a solid circle of friends, mentors, and supporters will make you emotionally resilient and harder to manipulate. Stay unbothered by their reactions. If they attempt to belittle your achievements or spread negativity, don't engage. Their goal is to provoke a reaction. Instead, remain confident and continue progressing. Your success is enough of a statement. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Recognize and appreciate your own progress, even if the narcissist tries to diminish it. When you acknowledge your own accomplishments, their opinions become irrelevant. You don't need their validation to know your worth. Never make about revenge. While it might be tempting to win against them, the true victory is finding happiness and fulfillment without them taking up space in your mind. Revenge keeps you emotionally tied to them, but true success means moving forward without needing their validation or their downfall. Be independent and self-sufficient. Narcissists thrive on control. If they see that you're doing well without their approval or assistance, it removes their power. Establish your own financial, emotional, and personal independence so they can no longer influence your decisions. Refuse to engage in drama. A narcissist might try to drag you into unnecessary conflict just to maintain a connection. The best way to rob them of that satisfaction is to disengage entirely. Let them waste their energy while you focus on building something meaningful. Keep your success private. Sometimes, the best way to outshine a narcissist is to keep your growth and success under wraps until it becomes undeniable. They cannot sabotage what they don't see coming. The ultimate outcome. In the end, the most effective way to deal with a narcissist is to live well. By focusing on your own growth and happiness, you take away the power they once had over you. The more you thrive on your own, the less control they have. And eventually, they'll have no choice but to watch as you surpass them in ways they never saw coming. And the best part? You'll be too busy enjoying your life to even notice their reaction. 5. Cut them off completely. The ultimate torture for a narcissist? Being ignored, forgotten, and replaced. Narcissists thrive on attention. They need an audience to manipulate, control, and use for validation. Their sense of self-worth is intricately tied to how much influence they have over others. But when you remove yourself from their grasp, they are left with nothing. The moment you stop caring, they lose the one thing they truly crave: power over you. Cutting a narcissist off completely is one of the most effective ways to protect yourself from their toxic influence. This means severing all ties, blocking them from your phone and social media, and eliminating any opportunities for them to reach you. No calls, no texts, no accidental run-ins, nothing. The silence will drive them mad because it denies them their most cherished resource, your attention. However, going no contact is not always feasible. In cases where you share children, work in the same environment, or have unavoidable family ties, completely eliminating them from your life may not be an option. In such situations, the next best approach is low contact. Practicing low contact. Low contact means reducing your interactions with a narcissist to the absolute minimum. Keep conversations short, to the point, and strictly neutral. Avoid giving them emotional responses or personal details they can use against you. This approach works particularly well in professional settings or when co-parenting, where total disengagement is impossible. One highly effective technique for maintaining low contact is the gray rock method. This strategy involved becoming as uninteresting and unresponsive as possible, making the narcissist lose interest in engaging with you, respond in a monotonous tone, provide only factual answers, and never react emotionally. When they realize they can no longer provoke or control you, they will often move on to another target. Another method is the medium chill approach, which is similar to the gray rock method, but allows you to engage minimally without feeling emotionally drained. You keep interactions polite yet distant, giving vague responses that offer no emotional depth. This prevents the narcissist from latching on to any emotional reaction that could fuel their manipulations. Recognizing manipulative tactics. When you cut a narcissist off, be prepared for backlash. They will not let go easily, and they may resort to various manipulative tactics to regain control. Here are some common methods they use. Love bombing and fake apologies. They may suddenly become the kindest, most apologetic version of themselves, claiming they've changed and want to make things right. This is a trap. Once they regain control, they will return to their old behaviors. Guilt tripping. They will attempt to make you feel bad for abandoning them, painting themselves as a victim. Flying monkeys. They might enlist mutual friends or family members to pressure you into reconnecting with them. Anger and intimidation. If guilt and manipulation fail, they might lash out, try and provoke fear or emotional distress. Triangulation. They may compare you to someone else or bring a third party into a situation to create jealousy, doubt, or conflict. Hoovering. Named after the vacuum cleaner brand, hoovering is when the narcissist tries to suck you back in with messages that evoke nostalgia, regret, or sympathy. It's crucial to recognize these tactics for what they are, attempts to regain control. Do not fall for them. Stay firm in your decision to remove yourself from their influence, protecting yourself emotionally. The longer you stay away, the weaker their hold on you becomes. It's essential to build a strong support system that reinforces your boundaries and reminds you why cutting them off was necessary. Surround yourself with friends, family, and professionals who understand what you're going through and can provide the encouragement you need. Engaging in self-care routines can also help fortify your emotional resilience. Practices such as mindfulness, journaling, therapy, and meditation can help you process your emotions and rebuild your sense of self-worth. Setting new personal goals, engaging in hobbies, and strengthening your relationships with positive people will further distance you from the toxic influence of a narcissist. Long-term strategies for staying free. Even after successfully cutting a narcissist off, they may attempt to re-enter your life weeks, months, or even years later. They do this when they sense you are happy, thriving, or moving on. To protect yourself from future entanglements, consider the following. Change contact information. If necessary, update your phone number, email, and social media privacy settings to prevent any attempts at re-engagement. Avoid mutual social circles. If possible, distance yourself from friends or acquaintances who still interact with a narcissist, as they could unknowingly act as a bridge for manipulation. Reaffirm your boundaries. Continuously reinforce your mental and emotional boundaries, reminding yourself why you left in the first place. Recognize red flags in future relationships. Learn to identify narcissistic tendencies early on so you don't fall into the same pattern with someone else. Healing from narcissistic abuse takes time, but every step away from their toxicity brings you closer to regaining your peace and independence. The more you invest in healthy relationships, self-care, and personal growth, the less likely you'll be vulnerable to manipulation in the future. Cutting a narcissist off completely is not just about removing them from your life. It's about reclaiming your power and freedom. Stay strong, stay firm, and most importantly, never let them drag you back in. So there you have it. 5 ways to drive a narcissist absolutely crazy without ever being cruel. Remember, the best revenge isn't about hurting them. It's about freeing yourself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below and let us know, have you ever dealt with a narcissist? How did you handle it? Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay strong, stay empowered, and stay free. Remember, your growth and happiness are the ultimate victories. Keep focusing on yourself, setting healthy boundaries, and embracing a life filled with positivity and self-respect.